how does density vary with temperature? Let's take our density first. So density is the ratio of mass over volume. Right, so you have like two extensive properties there, and when you have a ratio, you have an intensive property. And that's not. Let's get to the question here. So when temperature changes, the mass is not going to change. That's going to remain. The mass is going to remain constant, but the volume is going to change. Generally, the volume changes proportionally with temperature, especially gases. So when the temperature increases, when we increase temperature, then the volume increases, generally, especially gases. Right? And when we increase the volume, which is in the denominator, the density is going to decrease. So we can say that increase in the temperature is going to increase the volume generally, and then that's going to decrease the density. Right? We can do the flip side. We can decrease the temperature. That's going to decrease the volume, and that's because the same amount of mass is in a smaller space. That's going to increase the density. Right, so we can summarize all of this saying temperature is directly proportional to volume, which is inversely proportional to density. Now, of course, there's exceptions, like when you lower the temperature of water, it's going to freeze and it expands. But generally, this is the deal. So let's take a look at an example. Let's say we have a balloon, and it's filled with air. Those particles in the balloon have a temperature. We know that temperature measures the average kinetic energy. Right? Those particles have kinetic energy. They're moving around there, they're bouncing and colliding with each other. Now, if we heat this balloon up, then those particles in there are going to move faster on average, and they're going to expand because they're colliding with the walls of the balloon. They're colliding with each other. So they're going to have a higher temperature here. Because the volume is expanding, this balloon is going to rise. Or if it's floating, it'll float higher because it's less dense than it's even less dense than the surrounding air. So let me put some numbers here. Like maybe this is like 36 degrees Celsius, and this is like 20. Let's go 30 degrees Celsius. And there you have it. Kind of short explanation on how density varies with temperature.